The countdown has officially begun. In just 7 days' time, we'll have the 13th edition of the WAFCON. And of course, Aunty Diski is here to give us her expertise on, the tournament itself and, a certain list of players that has been released recently. Aunty Diski, how are you doing? Looking nice as usual. You're also wearing all black, you know.
But black is color ya manyora in South Africa. That just means this is the color for bosses.
Yes, and also we're mourning that 4 African teams have been out of the FIFA Club World Cup. Is that your reason for wearing black?
You are so shady.
All right, moving right along. Let's talk about South Africa because the list by Dr. Desiree Ellis, we know some players have been left out.
Sure. Yeah.
Some players included that you're happy about. Talk to me about that list.
All right, I'm super excited. I mean, WAFCON is really a time that we get to experience explosive moments when it comes to women's football, you know. I know that the atmosphere, the ambience, the energy in Morocco currently is electrifying. I hope your passport is, up to date because we should be there, supporting our girls. But yeah, we had a chat, the past episode we were talking about, Dr. Desiree's selection to the 28 players who were there and some need to be cut. She did release the selection of the girls that she took with who are currently in Morocco at the moment. We saw the exclusions of a couple of players who a lot of people were not too sure why they were left out. And just to name, Magaia. Magaia is a player who currently plays at Mamelodi Sundowns. She's one of the players that actually scored one of the most important goals in the last edition of the WAFCON, which led us to progress to the next levels where we were playing against Morocco. But, to see a player like that who has so much weight in the national team, as young as she is, to be left out, she's currently on standby. And this is the second time she's also on standby. So that is very demotivating for a player. You can just imagine how hard you work. And I mean, she hasn't had a lot of game time in the Hollywood Bets season, but she's currently got 5 goals. She's actually scored more goals compared to the players who've really gotten game time at every single game. So that speaks about her moments when she's on the field. Michelle Sampson, a lot of people were happy for her. She's got pace because we know that with the exclusion of Tembi, we are trying to find somebody who can replace with a little bit of pace. I think for her, maybe it might just be the experience because she's never really been part of the core, especially for a big tournament like that. But she also stays behind. O'Malley, who we saw when the friendlies was doing exceptionally well, has also been, left out in the squad. But I'm super happy for the players that have been selected. I'm just hoping that we have a fair balance of, the pieces of experience that have been in the team, the core, just to help out your bonolos who are new and are very young.
I was thinking about experience and the fact that the African Women's Footballer of the Year winners, your Noku Matlu, who won the award in 2008 and has now retired, and Katlana, the 2018 winner, they'll be missing the tournament, of course. Now, the influence of those players, the absence of it, do you think it's going to affect the team going into this tournament? Who do they look to in place of them?
I wouldn't necessarily use the word affect, right? Obviously, they will be missed because we know they are input into the team and we know how strong they are. Even their opponents, know how strong they are. But I believe that with the current selection, there are some teams who are still left behind. We know that Jermaine is going to be doing her last dance in this tournament. So I think she's one player that a lot of people will be taking a lead from. Yeah, she'll step into that role. Okay. Hopefully, Hildah also gets her game time. We know about the injury situation. So she's also going to step into that position. Refila Jane is back into the block, the captain, and she's got good and great, captain leadership skills. So I think they definitely have a strong enough team, irregardless of the exclusions of your Tembi Khatlanas, your Noku Matlos, your Janine van Wyks,
Jessica, man, we're 7 days away from seeing that opener between Morocco and Zambia. Now, who are we going to be profiling today?
So we're going to be looking at Group B.
Okay.
We have already discussed Nigeria, and we spoke a little bit about Botswana, with the likes of, Sedilame, who's a goalkeeper at Mamelodi Sundowns, as well as Tolakele, who's a striker at Mamelodi Sundowns. But we're going to look at Algeria and Tunisia a little bit. I think it's going to be a tough one, especially for Algeria. Looking at this group, I think all teams are very strong. But looking at how Algeria is ranked at the current moment, they have progressed, winning against teams like Uganda and Burundi, who we know are not really, that strong and very competitive in these kind of tournaments. So I think it was sort of an easy one for them to actually get here. So now with the opening matches that they're going to be facing against Botswana and Nigeria, it's going to be a very, very tough one. But I do definitely think that in terms of the investment that they have in football, whatever the technology that's centered around, match analysis and all of that, I think they stand a good chance. But for me, when I look at Group B, obviously teams like, Nigeria and Botswana for me stand out just based on the friendly matches that they've played. And this is the importance of, playing these friendly matches to make sure that you are well oiled and you have the right preparations and all of that. One thing though, I believe that maybe Tunisia can take advantage of when you're playing against Nigeria. I think we spoke about this a couple of weeks back to say that most of these Nigerian players, they play overseas, So it's very difficult to have a short space of time in terms of preparations for WAFCON with a team that is not really oiled and doesn't, gel together. They don't have that cohesion. They don't have that cohesion, and we know that most of them prioritize, international football. Some of them are not going to be present. So that's another, probably it's not a weakness, but something that could definitely work against them, because I think with these kind of preparations, you need enough time to have your selection play together in these friendlies as long as they can to possibly give better results, especially the chemistry on the football field.
That was the very knowledgeable Aunty Diski profiling Group B that has Nigeria, Tunisia, Algeria, and Botswana, right?
Correct.
I guess she's predicting Nigeria will top that group, or Algeria.
I'm going to play it safe and say Nigeria. That's playing it safe.
Okay, well, let's see what happens, though. It's a very tough group indeed. We'll be going on a cooling break right now, and when we come back, we have a very hot conversation with SC Kadebe. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.